My apologies if I'm shivering throughout this entire video. It is so friggin' cold in here. So I am a bit of a geek, I would definitely say. I mean, I got my pillows, I got more pillows that aren't in here. That up there is a Wind Waker poster, and I like to sew, so it's probably not that big of a shock that I like to cosplay. Cosplay, if you didn't know, is when you dress up as a character, usually from a comic book or a movie or a TV show, what have you. I'm not super experienced at it, but I have cosplayed Fiona from Adventure Time, Link from the end of the first Legend of Zelda, Professor Layton from the Professor Layton games, and Serena / the female trainer from Pokemon X and Y. I've also helped a friend make a jacket for a Prince cosplay from the manga Half Prince, as well as made my sister a jacket for a Hey cosplay from Darker Than Black, and made my other sister a bodysuit and shorts for a Demi-themed cosplay from Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. So I'm not super experienced, but I have a little bit of experience under my belt. So I thought I'd share a little bit of advice for people who might want to cosplay but are a little hesitant for various reasons. I mean, I used to be afraid to even go into a comic shop because I thought people would think I was weird, but now I wear outfits of characters in public. Number 1, look up and follow con guidelines. Most people make cosplays for cons, or geek culture conventions as I've heard them called in a broad term, since Comic-Con is a specific one. But cons have certain guidelines to keep people safe. Even things you might not think would be a problem, sometimes are a problem. I was going to a con with a friend who was cosplaying Half Prince, and she was going to make fake armor out of this really lightweight, really cheap metal. But after she had already bought the metal, we actually looked up what the guidelines were for the con that we were going to, and you could not have any metal at that con. A lot of cons say that if you have wooden props, they need to be made out of something like a balsa wood, which is really lightweight and can't really hurt anyone anyway. And some cons have really strict guidelines, like if you bring a bow, it can't have a string on it, and if you bring arrows, they can't have tips on them. Even if they're blunted, they can't be there. One of the cons I went to summed up their guidelines by saying if you hit someone over the head with it and it breaks, you can bring it. But if you hit someone over the head with it and they break, you should just leave it at home. And of course, cons have guidelines for really skimpy outfits as well, so keep an eye on those. Because the people working at the con won't care how much time you spent on it, it doesn't matter because they want to keep the event safe, and safe for children's eyes, I guess. Number 2, be honest with yourself about how much your cosplay is going to cost. Some people buy their cosplays, and if you buy it, then you at least have a chance of getting it below $100. But if you're making your cosplay, it's probably going to cost a good amount of money. Some people spend like $500 on one cosplay. It's an expensive hobby, so make sure you set aside enough money for it in advance, and be creative. I mean, just because something is meant to be used one way doesn't mean it can't be used another way for your costume. Number 3, be as perfect as you want to be. I'm a perfectionist, so my cosplays have to be as perfect as I can possibly make them, while still not being too revealing. But if you don't mind a few minor inaccuracies, don't spend so much time and effort and money making this cosplay of yours perfect. Cosplaying is supposed to be fun, so don't worry about it being perfect, unless you're like me, in which case it has to be perfect. Number 4, expect attention. When you go out in public dressed like a character from an anime or a comic book, people are gonna look at you, and some people might ask for your picture. And some people might take your picture without asking. One time, 3 of my friends and I, who were all dressed as different characters from different franchises, were taking pictures outside, and we had someone across the street try to take a picture of us. We didn't care, so we actually turned and posed for them, but then they just hastily put their phone away. We also went to Robin's Donuts dressed the same way and had people taking pictures of us there too. So that was cool. You're a novelty if you go out dressed like that, so you're going to have people staring at you. It's just inevitable. But I will tell you this, if you go to a con, you'll feel like you fit right in. And 5, cosplay as whatever you want. It doesn't matter if you're female and you're cosplaying a male character, or if you're a male and cosplaying a female character, or if you're a human and you're cosplaying as a dog. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what or who you cosplay as, because the idea is just to celebrate the culture and the franchise, and just to have fun. Like I said before, I hope if you're thinking about cosplaying, you give it a shot, and I hope that you like it if you do. Pretty soon, I'm going to have to start making a new cosplay of a character from a very popular indie game that's not Five Nights at Freddy's. So I'm thinking about making a video of that to show kind of how cosplay is made, all the effort that goes into it, and all the work and all the time, and I don't know, I'm thinking about it. I hope this helped someone, and good luck in your cosplay adventures.
Pumpkin juice all over my
So I was like, if you're bleeding, we need to like...
blood juice.
We need to stop right now.
It's actually just that red juice that tastes like red, but
It
call
tastes
it
like
blood
red.
juice.
Number 3, be as perfect as you...